Hello, and welcome back to another episode from the Trains in World UK Trains and Routes Facebook group YouTube channel. It's a lot to say, so I had to think about that. Today, I'm hoping that you're enjoying the videos so far. I've been doing quite a few now. Today, I'm going to look at driving the LMS Jubilee steam engine, which comes as part of the Spirit of Steam, which was released at the back end of TSW3 Rush Hour's Reign. I thought I'd drive it, but instead of driving it on Spirit of Steam route between Liverpool Crewe, I thought I'd actually drive it on the rail tour on the South Eastern High Speed. So you've got two routes you're allowed to drive it on. Obviously, the Spirit of Steam Liverpool to Crewe, which is its incumbent route. That's the route it's planned on. And there's a South Eastern High Speed rail tour. Just choose that. Kent High Speed. So there's two services you can drive the Jubilee on. There's the one Sierra 99, which is the 1206 Rochester to Faversham. You've also got the option of the one Papa 99, which I assume is a return working, but it's a longer journey, and that's driving back from Faversham to Dartford in the evening. For the sake of this video, because I could only record 60-minute videos anyway, pardon me, I'm going to drive the service I've already done before, because one, I'm familiar with it, and two, I want to show I'm not just showing about the route, I'm also showing about how to drive the steam engine and various other aspects of the Jubilee, and what to look for and look out for. So if you're not overly keen on the steam engine, or if you just haven't got what it takes to drive it, or you just don't know how to drive it, then I'm hoping that I can address that in this video. So I'm going to choose this one. And I'm also choosing the route I'm a bit more familiar with, because it's not that I'm not familiar with the Liverpool to Crewe route, but I just haven't played it enough. So I'd rather use a route which has got, which has got is a bit clearer, really. Signals are better, speed restrictions are better, all that. So I'm going to go into this. The steam engine can be a bit loud, so I'm hoping that there isn't much feedback for the microphone. Unfortunately, because I'm on a PS5, it doesn't recognise certain handsets, although the microphone will work. The sound through the headphones, despite the fact that they're £400 headphones, don't work, doesn't sound very good. So I have to play the sound through my speakers and still use my microphone that way, which is fine, but of course this also can mean you get a bit of feedback, so I'm hoping that it isn't too loud. Alright, here we go. So I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I might turn it down slightly. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. So let's unlock the doors. So the steam engine, the Jubilee, there you go, is an express London Midland Scottish steam engine. There it is in its lovely glory. They are numbered for the 45 X series, or 455 series, as you can see there. Obviously they were printed out in green predominantly. Obviously you can see the stock is old Commonwealth rated Mark 1s with various maroon colours. So let's get the train moving. So to get the train moving, there's various aspects we need to do. First of all, we need to put our reversal on, which is this gear on, should I say. So this acts as your loco reverser. So there is slight differences of how the gears work. So it's a gear, really. So if we just put that forward, the back foot goes to 75. There we go. Your gauges to the left-hand side, obviously, is steam. So the bottom one is your steam piston function. The bigger one is the boiler's pressure. You've got the two. You can see the 3 boxes, the 6 boxes. You've got like a clay with some steam out and some arrows. Well, they are your dampers and your blowers. Now, for those of you who are not aware, there is a way of being able to manually control your dampers and your blowers. Okay, and to do that, if you want to do that, you can do it on the control button. If I just press start a minute and show you the control guide. So if you take a look through your controls, if you go to your operation shift, where is it? Camera shift, turntable, locomotive. There is a way. I'm sure it told you. Interact steam shift. Operation shift. On foot, camera shift to locomotive. Yeah, so if you can see where it says X is interact and hold for steam shift, well, the steam shift enables you to choose those options on the control pad. If you haven't got a control, or actually you can use the keyboard as well. Now, by default, if I just look at the settings, the firer should be automatic. So steam fire mode I've got set as automatic. Now if you turn that to manual, it will expect you to manually operate the dampers and manually operate the steamers. Now for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to keep it to automatic, but I will talk through what's going on. So first things first, we need to get moving, don't we? So you've got injectors, and you need the small injector to be open. Okay, so we open that. Now you also need to build up vacuum. The vacuum at the moment is currently at 0.1 because the brakes are on and the large injector is closed. We open the large injector, like so, and that will start building up vacuum. Another way then is we start to pull the brakes off. So if we start pulling the brakes off, like so, vacuum will start to rise. You'll also notice on the big gauge, the V in the middle of the gauge is pointed down, which means pressure is starting to drop off in the boiler. Okay. Now if I pull the brake straight off, with the large injector open, the vacuum will build up, and the train will want to start to move on its own. Okay. Once the vacuum you need to get is 21. You can see up there in inches of mercury, or you can look at obviously you can look at the gauge there, it says VAC next to the speedometer. Now as we get to 21 and the brakes are off, the train should in theory move. Okay, so I'll open the regulator slightly, and there you go. Train's moving relatively easily without any problems. Yeah. Now the first things first is, just like anything else, you need to be mindful of how you use a regulator. Okay, so just be gentle. Now if you also notice the little gauge on the left hand side has got that cylinder with the wavy lines. Now if you've got a keyboard, or if you know how to do it on the pad, if you press C, that will shut your cylinder cocks. Once you've done that, that traps that steam in the cylinder cocks, and you can start pumping. Ideally you might want it a little bit higher than that, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're shunting along slowly. It's only 30 miles an hour between Rochester and Chatham anyway, so we don't need to go too fast. But I'll open up the regulator a little bit, just to kind of get everything in place. Ideally, it might be best if you. Ideally, it might be best if you keep the injector closed once you've reached your vacuum. Okay. Now the key here with driving the steam engine is to try and make sure that the pressure in the steamer, in the big one, is not going to bust to 225, but also quite high to enable the speed. Now as you can see, the white marks and the squares under the big cloud means that the steam blower has been pulled off, and of course you've got your fireman, firewoman in this case, who is pumping firing. Now you can also control that manually, just to let you know. As you start speeding up, the requirement to have the mid-gear high is becomes less. So as you speed up and you put your regulator a bit higher as well, you can then start to reduce your gear. And what I tend to do is bring it down casually. So I'll bring it down to about 50 as we get faster. We are climbing a hill. I've opened up the regulator just that little bit more now, it's now at 100. Okay, to try and get the power completely going. And we are slowly accelerating out of Rochester. As you can see from the left hand side, the steamer, steam blower, the blower has been opened. The dampers, which is the arrows, are still closed. Now I'm still struggling to get speed. Now that could be because, as it appears, I appear to be losing vacuum. and I don't actually know why. If I'm really honest. So I've opened the injector again to try and get the vacuum back in. Okay. But we are speeding up. I'm going to close the injector again. Now, as I get closer, now I've gone over 20, I am now going to reduce the mid gear just a little bit more to around 25. And now we should start looking at getting a bit more speed. We are slow progress, I'll admit. The boiler pressure could be higher, it is rising, so that's good. And that vacuum is slowly leaking at vacuum again. I don't know why. Is it because I've got the... that's why. I had the small injector closed. You're supposed to have it open. Apologies. That'd be why I wasn't... my vacuum was... I was losing my vacuum. So keep that open. And I am building steam boiler pressure again. I know it doesn't feel like we're going lightning fast, but we are. I do appear to be reducing speed as I climb the hill. I'm going to reduce my regulator slightly. Open up my regulator again. Try and get that back in me. Reducing speed and losing speed, look. This is what I mean, it's such a fine art to drive these. But I'll open the regulator anyway, on the hope that the pressure builds and we get moving. More because we're just climbing the hill and it's just not liking the hill. We don't stop anywhere anyway, so that's good. So I might just put the mid gear back up a little bit. Maybe it could be a bit tough to do that. I'm absolutely struggling here. I don't know why I'm not building up much more air. Pressure's dropping down. Mid gear back down. The idea is to try and balance your... There you go. So by doing that, the steam's going back up again. Got it on 94, put it on 99, let's do it 100. That's cool. Reduce that. Down again. Yeah, it's not locking this hill at all, is it, this train? I think when I drove it last time I struggled up here as well. But I've definitely got it going eventually. I've definitely got some speed. Got going. Obviously there's no AWS or TWS or anything on me, so you're literally relying on your eyes when it comes to the signals. Hopefully the signal will be. It's not exactly light in the sky, is it? We are moving. I don't know, sometimes it's because I've closed the cocks too early. Maybe I need to put more pressure in the cylinders. Speeding up a bit now, look. Now I've done that, strangely enough. Maybe I'm just being a bit look, that's it, go for it now, look. Just because I opened the cocks. Now to do that I'll press C on the keyboard. I don't know how to do it on the Far back still. Yeah, I'm still going, still speeding up. Pressure's still building in the cylinder. We're still climbing, but we are speeding up, so I'm not too worried. Maybe it was just a bit of a climb out of Rochester. We've got 20 minutes of Faversham, it's 15 miles. Hopefully if we get the speed up we shouldn't be too late. And I was handling it. To be fair, we had a late start, so I was messing around. You see that handle? You can just see that handle there that's moving. Now that is the boiler pressure. So you can see the way it's turning. If it's turning up, it means the pressure's building. If it's going the opposite way, it means the pressure's dropping. So you will actually, if you look carefully, when the pressure drops, it will stop and reverse. So if I was to, there you go, reduce it, see it coming back the other way, look. Yeah? See the handle coming back? Oh no, it's building up again. See? So that's quite interesting. Going along at a merry 41 miles an hour. It will go faster. We're going downhill now, so we should pick up some speed. The faster we can go is 75 on this code. But PSI permitting. As you know, the Simmons don't have speedometers, so you've got to look at your own. I'll pick up through what we've got. Don't need to use these, but we've got the regulator obviously. Isolating cock, whatever that means. Sander, obvious. We've got the steam, the air transfer, we've got the blower, goes on its own. These handles you don't touch, they're like regulating, aren't they? They're like, yeah. I don't know what any of these do. I mean, honestly, I don't know a lot about steam engines. Going along nicely now, 55 miles an hour. As we approach Raynham. Nice green signal there. Absolutely thrashing along now, aren't we? So I'll just turn the volume up slightly. If I look as if it's gone a bit loud. Absolutely fantastic. It's really good. I mean, I like doing this with the locos as well. You know, we're absolutely tanking it now. And what I love as well is because you don't need to really look at your controls, you don't necessarily have to be looking in, you know, you don't have to actually be in the actual footplate. Using a keyboard, open the large injector is J, to shut it is Shift and J. handy move it. 68 mile an hour going downhill. The good thing as well about steam engines is that you can actually reverse the regulate, you can reverse the gear. So actually, you can reverse the wheels. So it's a bit like regeneration, regen on the train. And I have done it a few times when I felt the brakes have been appropriate to stop me. It is quite entertaining. Climbing back up the hill, but now we're at a good speed now, aren't we? Oh, I'm speeding. But probably a bit more of a concentrate if you want to concentrate a lot more on what's ahead of you. Oh, let's get that steam open. Get the regulator back open, look. But with this one you get a better sensation of speed with this angle. There you go. Got a little tip for you as well. Getting the brakes off quickly is also something you can do relatively quick. If you open up the injector, that'll get you back and back up very quickly, and that'll get your brakes off quick. Once you get to 21, you can close your injector, like so, and then open up your regulator again. But you see that the steam boiler pushes it above 225. But once you, where's where the dampers come in? I'm not sure. You've got dampers. Not doing too bad, 6.2 miles, doing what, 73 mile an hour. Got 12 minutes until we need to be in Faversham, so basically we need to be doing that. So basically, you know, 75 mile an hour more than enough. Just power off a bit. Coasting downhill. I mean, it's good how it sounds like a proper train, doesn't it, as well? See the wheels spinning because there's too much pressure in the boiler. Go for the regulator, look, it will lower the pressure, but you still put your brakes on. It's going to build now anyway, so. Such a fine art to get the steam pressure from building up. Instead of putting that up being adjusted. What miles outside Faversham. Sorry, double yellow. Brakes aren't the greatest on this, but they will do the job. And like I say, if you're not confident in how it's slowing down, you can actually reverse the you can actually reverse the drive. I can see that slope going down pretty good. What have we got there? Is that single yellow? Yeah, single yellow, so we can get moving. See, I turned the mid gear back down to 75 because we were slowing down. Well, I might as well leave it now. Cheers. I'll leave it at that now, I don't want to overrig it. Soon you're approaching a red signal. And there's a train passing the junction ahead of it. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Boys and girls. There we go. Nice steady stop there. Whew. Yeah. Done well there. Whew. So there we go. Finished the journey. I'm not perfect at driving these. I'm not going to deny. I'm not perfect at all. But I only hope that you can take anything you may have seen me do, or anything that you might think, actually, I have been doing that, and that's why I'm struggling, or whatever. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. Obviously, you can see I was speeding a little bit in places. No speedo, and just generally enjoying myself there, I think. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed that, and I shall bid you farewell. Thanks for watching.